Oh.
Oh, hey, Samantha.
Hi, Tana.
How's it going?
Good. What are you up to?
Oh, just doing a little bone smashing.
That's so interesting because you already have perfect bone structure.
Right, but now I'll have even more perfect bone structure as I cause micro abrasions to all my bones and muscles, causing them to regrow in new, fortified, beautiful, looksmaxing ways. I learned this from online manfluencers such as Clavicular.
So the principle really is just like slightly break your bones and what they'll just come back bigger and better.
That's that's the pseudoscience, yeah.
I always imagined that breaking a bone could kind of threaten its integrity.
um, it can in some ways, in some methods, I think, can cause things to kind of like. Actually, I'm not going to weigh in on bone growing. I have no idea how it works, and I'm
Right.
not going to give you like what I half remember hearing a decade
Mm.
ago. So
But
simply
micro
not
stress is
qualified.
important. We do know that.
I'll hand it over to experts, doctors, and dermatologists who are like, please do not hit yourself with a hammer.
From the generation that ate Tide Pods, though. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Um, Hello, welcome to everyone in the chat. Hi, Anxious Gary. Hi, Bender. Got his face smashed to reach your full potential. I'm almost like, I don't know how to feel about the subject of this stream because I just found out this morning that this guy isn't a satirical character. I had sent Tana this video a week ago, which I'll show you, of this guy talking about tiptoe maxing. And I was like, oh, what a brilliant satirist. And Tana's telling me, and I'm still skeptical, that all of this is real.
I'm like, no, this is pure closetry. This is a person who is walking confidently into the world and knowing simply a few things about it. Some things for sure. Uh and others I'm like, oh dear Lord. The
Can
confidence
we
of
just
a
can we play the
can
video
we
that spawned this discussion between us so people can understand what I mean when I say it's hard to think that this is real?
let's do it.
Let's start there.
Just for a little background, we are talking about Clavicular. What's his actual Christian name? He's Christian
Like
question mark.
Mark or Brent or something.
Oh, I had this Braden Eric Peters. He is
He's
first name
such a
maxing.
Braden.
That is three first names. If two is bad luck, what's three?
That's always how it happens, isn't it?
Okay, he's a looks maxer. He's teaching us men how to looks max our way to the top of patriarchy. Excellent. And this clip is not satire.
I'm unconvinced. Let's play it.
Right, Max, you get a girl, you bring her home. How do you get away with, like, because you're gonna drop in height?
Right. So what you could either do is you could wait until you're in the bed to kick your shoes off, and that way she won't be able to perceive the height because you're laying down, you're horizontal. But if you are forced to take off your shoes for whatever reason, you can sag your pants down.
For whatever
Forced to take off your shoes for whatever reason.
Your heels, and you could tiptoe max is a good method.
Okay, tiptoe Max, but let's say you wanted to.
How is that not satire?
Because he doesn't know things about himself yet. He is a mere 20 years old, presume conservative, white, already like, by normal conventional straight white guy standards, a good-looking guy, and walking in with the confidence of like full con artistry.
I just like with the tiptoe maxing and all that, I'm like, I feel like a boomer. Like, I can't conceptualize that not being a joke. like without it making me feel like I feel like there's just some like level of humor we're not getting it on. Like surely that is not real.
It is sort of humorous in the sense that it's like, I think it's just like classical straight guy overcompensation by like having to own any sense of like whimsy, because and guys under the genre jargon. So it's like, because to tiptoe is already such like a dainty act. So
That's a
if you're telling
hilarious thing
guys
to
like
say.
the way to like win at manhood is to like tiptoe your way into tricking your woman, who apparently is like just classical tropical bird of paradise, who sees you just like doing your little tiptoe dance and is like, "Brr, brr, there's a very tall bird in
To
front of
be
me."
fair, that would work on us. I
It would
love a
work on
man
me,
who's
yeah,
willing to
easy.
be pose.
But calling it tiptoe maxing is a way to like kind of address the whimsy by, you know, adding maxing to anything is like a whimsical form of language that is part of the collective genre jargon. Yeah,
I'm
but
still so
really, it's like all
skeptical.
these guys. This guy is like a gay guy who wants to do makeup and wants to be really cute and hot. And I know I'm projecting again, but I'm not, though, because like this is the whole thing, is like just trying is, yeah.
Form a relationship with the girl. Should it not matter then?
It almost is like a fun game, like seeing
Okay.
how long you can get away with it for.
How long do you think you would, let's just say, different Clav, this streaming thing isn't happening, you just meet a girl when you're height maxing, how long do you think you could theoretically get away with height maxing before being
Forever.
caught? Forever?
I don't think I'd ever get caught.
With the same woman?
Yeah.
You should, so like, she would know.
No, I'm extremely like tactical with it. So I would, like, for example, if you put like a book, you know, sort of like just popping out from the underneath of your bed.
All right.
And you take your shoes, you like stand up and use that as like a vantage point.
Vantage, okay, yeah.
I just think if that's not satire, then I'm like, what like neurological condition is that? Because it's not clicking. It's not clicking.
That's pure like Patrick Bateman psychopathy. That's like building your whole life on a lie. And when he says like, "Oh, I could do it. I could do it." He's saying it with the confidence of somebody who could spend his whole life telling a lie, which is crazy. So he's like selling this idea that like, if you're looks maxing and heights maxing and blah, 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 then you will be able to trick your way into like respect and love. But you can never trick your way into respect and love. Like those are things that you have to just like own in yourself and like feel for yourself. And if you're like, you have to find someone who's gonna love you despite the fact that you're 5'7", and just own those clogs, you know, like wear those platforms, like be cool about it, and someone will love you for it. But like, to be like, I will be so tactical every minute of my life. I will position all my furniture so that she never sees me unless I'm a half an inch higher. Like that is like literal psychopathy.
Well, heaven forbid a man gamify his life, you know? But I still just can't escape this feeling that you've been had. I'm like, I feel like you're falling for a psyop. Like, should we just watch more?
It is a psyop. He says in the Andrew Callahan, so he just did a interview with Andrew Callahan of Channel 5 News.
I have a clip from that, yeah.
And at the end, which abruptly ended because he just got up and left.
See, that seemed like satire too. Like, what? Even the
no,
guy.
No, it's not.
Who is Andrew Callahan, by the way? Because he seemed like he was playing along with it.
He's like a kind of a gonzo journalist, Gen Z gonzo journalist.
It felt like he was doing a bit.
Yeah, no bit. He's going in this with. I just like Oh, can you tell that I'm Looksmaxxing? Could you tell my eyeline?
You've been Looksmaxxing.
It's not my natural eyeline.
The original
the thing is
just being hot.
Yeah.
Carry on.
There's nothing wrong with like makeup. Yeah, again, like wearing makeup, wearing like doing anything. It's just, but like,
Sure.
if your whole thing is like, you have to pretend that this is authentically you, or that like, I don't know, it's just scary.
It's like I can't fully allow myself to get into, like, if it is real, then I want to start talking about how I feel like this is kind of adjacent to like the female eating disorder world, where it's just like when the world is in chaos, the body becomes a project. And so we can get into that, but I'm just still, I mean, let's watch the Channel 5 interview.
So he got up and he left the Channel 5 interview because he was asking Andrew, he was like,
And we'll
you mean
see
to tell
that.
me there's nothing that you would change about yourself? You don't get up in the morning, look in the mirror, and wish there was things different about you? And he was like, not really. And he was like, well, then this is like meaningless. It's like we have nothing to talk about, and left.
Yeah. Rachel, the good point. This is a better comparison. Women who wake up in the morning to put makeup on before their partners see them. Yeah.
Yes. Or do their hair like put in extensions and be like, this is just my hair.
Yeah. That would be tough.
People probably want to learn about you, and that was what I was trying to give you the opportunity to do.
Well, I know. I think that's totally fair, and that's I applaud you for that. But not one, question about Looksmaxxing.
There's been so many questions about Looksmaxxing. I probably asked you about Looksmaxxing like 40 times.
I want to know what the interview was before. Again, it's impossible for me to not just see this as satire, but I'm just trying to like plow through and trust you, I guess. But I'd be curious.
This is not satire. This is just a very this is your classic, right wing creator fluencer maxer guy who I saw him leave a different interview too because someone asked about his potential connections to Peter Thiel, and he just was like, done here, and left.
But I'm just telling you, my brain at this moment in time is not able to believe that it's not satire or in some way something different than we're clocking. That's just where I'm at. But I'm trying to have an open mind, and I just want to be upfront about that.
Yeah, that's a natural brain response to
like
such
I guess
absurdity.
I'm in denial. Yeah.
There's
because I sent you that first video because I was like, oh, this guy's really funny at satire. Like, it didn't even occur to me for a second that it was real. It's like, is the younger generation like we've just come full circle to now? So now the things that like just feel so inherently satirical, we're back to them being real. Like I'm losing grip of humor.
Well, this is the thing the satire is based off of, is this type of archetype of
usually
person, this concept.
Can anyone relate, please?
I just don't know the specific science. I'm not in the community.
Okay. Well, I mean, like, if you were to ask about like something in regards to hair loss, like, there's really nothing.
Yeah, sure, hair loss.
You see what I mean?
Telling me you're trying to get me
to what to ask. So when you wake up every single morning and you take a look in the mirror, you're 100% satisfied with every single thing. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, more or less.
Okay, dude. All right. Well,
it's like when you tell the missionaries that like there's nothing missing in your life and you never wonder about the meaning of existence or if there's a God that loves you. And they're like, okay, well.
Literally, we should turn that into a reel.
I guess that's just,
give him a little
if you
time.
Want to be completely disingenuous, that's fine with me. I guess there's just no point to continue.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Right. No, they had a good boys handshake still.
Yep.
Oh, it makes me ill.
It doesn't make me ill because they still just can't believe it.
We're all good. Yeah.
No, it's just a 20-year-old who has like not lived a life and really not been exposed to doesn't take other people as real, like values different aspects of life based on a very, very narrow experience and privilege, and is like the understory there is he's saying to Andrew, like, I don't think you're attractive. I think there are things you should improve. Like, therefore, example, I don't take your self-acceptance seriously. I can't accept you as genuine because you won't admit the ugliness that I see in you, which is, again, like, so demeaning, so toxic, and so classic.
It just feels like, I mean, I understand like the online culture that could, if this is real, could give rise to this, but I'm like, surely there is like just a foundation of neurodivergence at play here for him to be so seriously saying these things. Like, it doesn't just seem like someone who's brainwashed. It seems like there's like a mental rigidity that is like not typical.
It could be some neurodivergence in there. Surely, but it could, like, never underestimate young white male arrogance, like conservative. And I don't know if I sent you the full clip or not of him talking about politics, but in that interview, he's like, I'm not political, it's not about that, it's just about Looksmaxxing. But politics is just the intersection of power. And then he immediately goes on to talk about, the study of relationships of powers. And he goes on to talk about like traditional heteronormative, patriarchal, misogynistic things as just this like way things are, the way that science is described, the way things that we need to get back to. And it's like, well, everything that you're talking about is actually quite political, and you are just so used to being privileged and assuming that your extremely myopic experience and worldview is like comprehensive to the totality, that you are automatically right, that you are automatically better, that you are automatically, entitled, and that people, based on your limited superficial narratives, are like worse people, deserving disrespect, etc.
Rachel's making some good points in the chat. There really is gender here, because growing up, obviously this shouldn't be a thing. It was sort of very normal to be completely incredulous if a girl said she wouldn't change anything about her appearance. I am thinking about that scene in Mean Girls where all the plastics are lined up in front of the mirror saying something bad about their appearance, and Lindsay Lohan, who's been in Africa in a completely different culture, is just like, oh wait, what? I'm supposed to say something bad about my appearance, and like isn't prepared for it. So I'm like, yeah, I see what you're saying, but it also, I guess that's why it feels so interesting, because it's like he is we haven't, well, I guess the younger generation has been online more, so exposed to more stuff. Like, I can see that. But historically, it's like a man that good looking wouldn't need to go down this path, But Rachel's right. If this conversation was two women in the early 2000s, it would be very normal.
I don't know, maybe he'll be one of those cases who, like, finds psychedelics in his mid-20s and develops empathy.
That seems like it would be, he just seems quite just like extreme, I guess. So I don't know if that's on the cards for him. Like, he doesn't just seem like a regular like person brainwashed. Sorry. He doesn't just seem like a regular person brainwashed by a cult. He seems like there's like some genuine like inability to perceive reality there.
Yeah. Or maybe an genuine inability to empathize. But also, I don't know. Yes, I also see the a misguided or disguising desire to like help people, because there is something valuable to like, to aesthetics, to beauty, to like self-expression, and to Looksmaxxing, to health maxing. But like, his overall vibe to me isn't like altruistic or like heart-centered. It feels very like, I don't know, sort of mean-spirited. And maybe that's not even the right term. Maybe like just not very humanitarian.
Yeah, I guess I'm not even able to like, I can't like even mean-spirited. It's like I can't even quite, I guess I just am like now I'm like, okay, so it's just a person who seems like in whatever way mentally ill, and so I'm like, I don't know. It just is all so strange to me. It's hard for me to even have an opinion on it, except for like, yes, obviously that's so absurd, and like obviously he's like delusional. Also, yes, we are going to talk about the fact that he was arrested. That's the name of the stream, but we're doing we have some more intro videos first. It's time for Tanner to start a competitive movement. Twink maxing complete with paradise. Tanner, yes. That's how you
Let's
could
go.
earn your fortune right there.
Always
Woman
be
who
cross-legged and demure.
tries to
Okay, I thought this would be a good one next because you mentioned how he said he's like not political, and he kind of talks about sort of a bit like about that in this.
I don't really like a woman who tries to be super educated either and try to like have these intelligent conversations, because a lot of the times like you could, and this is talked about by Socrates and a lot, like a woman could be very well educated, but that doesn't make them a good thinker. So they just might have a
Honestly, fact based. As Socrates said, he's quoting Socrates. It's just when I saw this,
You
I was
never
like,
see that on the bumper sticker.
like obviously true. Someone can have a lot of knowledge and not be a good thinker, but I'm like, why is that just women? Like that's men and women, I mean, you have a lot of
Yeah.
knowledge about Looksmaxxing, but I mean, it looks like you're starting on fourth base, so I don't know how much we should.
Yeah, the gender of it all. Like, I'm sorry, like a woman may try to be educated, but alas, our brain chemistry, he brings that up quite a bit. Like, our brain chemistries are just different. When he talks about why it's fine for a guy to have a handful of lovers or whatever, but women, he only wants someone ideally who's a virgin because pair bonding, because brain chemistry.
Totally. Yes. It's always better to be with virgins. Sorry.
like a lot of these like facts in their brain, maybe from books they've read. They don't necessarily know how to interpret them properly. They won't make the right conclusions. So I just don't want a wife who's like wanting to argue about like, politics and like that all the time.
So valid. Who wants to argue about politics with their spouse all the time?
Yeah. Especially if those politics get her thinking about gender disparities or roles or anything like that, woke
It's
stuff. I'm
interesting.
not political, babe. I just don't want you to be able to talk about this.
Well, it's interesting as well because he's assuming that like if a woman is like trying to be intelligent and is learning about politics, then she's going to be like against him. It's going to be argumentative instead of like, I don't know, what if a woman was really educated on politics? And so therefore, because you're so smart, you guys are in agreement. And like, what a great dynamic. And won't that be fun? Like, it's like he's assuming a woman becoming educated will just make her want to argue with him.
Right. Yeah, what a self-betrayal. He's just saying like, I'm uneducated and I know it. Like, and that terrifies me. I would be
Respect.
horrified for someone with a bunch of facts who doesn't know how to organize those facts, interpret those facts, comes at me. Not at the dinner table.
Yeah.
Not at the dinner table, babe. The Bible says women need to be quiet at the dinner table, please.
What else we got here? Oh yeah, the bone smashing. Again, so hard to think that that's not a joke, but
Yeah. You smashed your face.
shout out to this dermatologist, Dr. Dre, who taught me almost everything I know about skincare.
Yeah, I bone smashed. Yeah. You smashed your face in, and what'd you do after? Like you went to the doctor and they reconstructed you, or
No. So it's just
It
small
goes back,
microfractures and the bone grows back stronger.
No, nothing crazy. It's just small little hits to the face.
the calcium?
So like I'll just lay
Fractures
down in my
about to
bed and
back
brace
faster.
my head so that there's no CTE, and then smash my zygos so that they grow. Yes.
Okay. This cannot be fucking normal.
Cool. So that was that.
All the boys are doing it. They're slamming Tide Pods to make your intestinal tract super alpha tract, and then smash your face with the hammer to get hammer maxed. That's how the Looney Tunes got so voluptuous.
Oh my god. This is all so stupid. I'm like, I feel like this isn't. I'm upset because I'm like, oh, I love this. Like, I just thought he was a hilarious guy that we could all rally around. Nope.
No. And it's, I guess it's like a messed up mirror, because it's like he is a conventionally attractive man who has been rewarded simply for being attractive despite having an off-putting demeanor and attitude and obvious lack of compassion and obvious misogyny. Like, yeah, and he's trying to share that with the world. Be like, and if you too watch my videos, you can learn how to have automatic privilege just like me. It's like he was gonna get that whether or not he had mascara, you know? And it wasn't because he's just like living his life more morally and dedicated than everyone else.
Life maxing.
He
Well, it
should
does
be
appear
life
that
maxing.
this is him injecting filler
This is
into
pretty
his
crazy. I mean,
already beautiful looking girlfriend's face, who is apparently 17.
yeah, this is pretty crazy. I mean, Clavicular has done a lot of questionable things, but I think this is up there as one of the most concerning. He's essentially injecting what looks like maybe some filler into this girl's cheeks, and I don't think that he's doing it very cleanly. I mean, first of all, he's not wearing any gloves. I highly doubt that he disinfected her face prior to these injections, and who knows what he's even injecting here. Where did he get these supplies? What are his landmarks here? Does he know where the...
Okay, very troubling to imagine that girl allowing that. That's so scary.
main blood vessels are that he could potentially hit and cause
like,
different
"Hey,
problems
I
for
did a
her,
little
like,
research."
necrosis of the skin, different types of other problems like infection and nodule formation, and maybe even blindness. And does he know how to reverse the effects of some of these complications with something like hyaluronidase? Does he have that available at his disposal? Regardless, he is not licensed to do these types of injections, and doing them on a live stream or however he's doing them here should be considered, highly illegal and something that I think should not be condoned. I've spoken out in the past against the DIY community when it comes to filler and even Botox and other things like threads and whatever else people are doing to themselves. But this is something that...
It's just wild because that girl looked like she was a beautiful, perfect 10 naturally. So it kind of shows some kind of dysfunction in him where he's not just looking at people and being like, okay, how do we get everyone closer to the beauty standard? It's like even when he sees someone who seems to be the beauty standard, there's a thing in his brain that's like, I can fix it. I can make it better. He's an artist.
Well, that's exactly it. A con artist, because it's like, at the end of the day, it's not about how do you feel comfortable and beautiful in your body. It's how can I change something? It's like based on this like fear on it's a fear-based thing that he's tapping into, which is that you're not good enough unless you are changing something about you. You always have to be finding something that you need to change. And it's like one thing to be like, I need to like moisturize, because I do. And I look in the mirror and I'm like, I need to change something about me. And that is, I need to moisturize more.
Well,
and
I noticed
that's
you've
not
been
based
buying
on
some
like, or
Korean
else I'm
skincare
not
lately.
worthy. It's like, because I love myself. And this epidermis is my largest organ.
Well said. I was just saying, I noticed that you've been investing in Korean skincare lately. So I was going to ask you how your skincare journey's going.
Well, I need to moisturize. I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm. It's mostly about doing it, huh?
Yeah. I'm SPF'd, but
that's the main one.
I
and you're
wash it off.
moisturizing when you SPF, just so you know. Like the
That's
SPF alone will be the moisturizer.
Yeah. Clavicle. Caligula.
And then what was that? Oh yeah, you sent me another clip from that into before he walked out, where he's talking about body count.
Oh,
Should we watch that one?
Let's go.
What's the ideal body count for a woman? Does it matter?
I would say that having any previous sexual encounters is not good.
So the ideal situation is like a virgin.
Correct, yeah.
Why?
Because of something called pair bonding. That's what a relationship is all about, right?
Not being funny, but I feel like if you're a man like this, because presumably he's not a virgin, right? Like,
Presumably, yeah.
it's like if every girl you're sleeping with is ideally a virgin, I feel like you're realistically just going to be dealing with a lot of people's like first time anxiety about having sex, and like, is that really going to be that fun for you?
Not
Like,
for
do you just
not for a control freak like that.
Not that I imagine him being like an attentive lover who's really going to be walking her through it in a great way, but still, it just feels like you won't be able to have as much fun. You're just like one virgin after the next.
Yeah.
A long-term relationship with a partner, being pair bonded with different brain chemicals with that person. So if that process is damaged in any sort of way, that just reduces the chance of success in that relationship, right? So that's not like an anti-woman perspective. I think that's just a very like scientific reason for that. It's not just like low IQ, typical jester, whore.
Don't talk shit about my wife, you stupid. Shut your fuck.
Wait, I'm confused but he thinks that men can have sex with other people. Does he only think women pair bond?
Because brain chemistry, because chemicals, because man, woman, a woman, obviously science. I'm not being
Obviously
misogynistic.
science.
I'm just telling you, science.
In this house, we believe in
chemistry,
science.
Pair bond. Yeah, only women need to be monogamous or they're damaged goods. He could pair bond with anybody.
I could pair bond all day because I've never felt a true emotional connection to another human being.
Literally.
Maybe that's what's happening.
No.
Also, what was the end of that
literally, it's
video?
Scary.
I don't
know.
Who's this guy?
I don't know. I
Felix
don't care,
Snitch.
honestly.
Okay, that has nothing to do with any of this.
Yeah, he's like this guy's Andrew Tate adjacent. I think they've even collabed ? And he's like,
Beautiful.
I'm not talking about politics. I'm not endorsing like hate or hatred of
He really
women.
doesn't
I'm
like
just
you.
talking to people about Looksmaxxing. And it's like, oh, everything you're doing is like quite misogynistic and quite like scary.
It just feels
But
like
because you don't know better, because you are so young and naive and privileged that you just like don't even know.
it's making me realize that perhaps
know.
I have underestimated how like the generation below us may have truly like lived in a world where their brains were not healthily differentiating the internet from reality as they grew up. They didn't have like the foundation that we got. And, tons of circumstances could put a young person just in like literally like their brains are developing inside the internet rather than like inside the world. But to me, it just seems like he's like an autistic person whose hyperfixation is Looksmaxxing, and it's like the community happens to be right-wing adjacent or whatever, and so he's like, he doesn't. But it seems like his true passion is Looksmaxxing, and he doesn't really care about what. That's just the hole he got sucked into. Like some people can hop from thing to thing, but because this is such a specific hyperfixation for him, it's like it's all this.
Yeah. And that is sort of like the conservative thing is like, this is just the way it is. This is just reality. And we're not trying to overthink it. We're not trying to overcomplicate it with a bunch of facts poorly interpreted.
The average right-wing person online is not saying like, yeah, just tiptoe around a girl with your pants down for the rest of your life. Like it is just like a complete, like I feel like every conservative I've ever known would think that was absolutely ludicrous, just like every liberal person I've ever known would.
I'm going to do a video about Maxing. Convince someone for their whole relationship that you have 3 inches more than you really do by like constantly deceiving.
It's all about being tactical.
Doing it for years.
Yeah.
It's all about angles, lighting, sleight of hand.
You are a magician.
Misdirection.
You would actually be perfect for that.
Okay, so I don't know if you noticed the casual jester bashing, but in the
Yeah,
whole
what was
Looksmaxxing
that?
community, because it's like, they're like empire, state of mind, king on that king shit. And when you're on that king shit, you know that the jester is the loser. So don't be jesting around the internet, be king maxing or whatever. But
What was his
I'm
comment
like,
about?
fool.
Wasn't- What was he saying? Like, was not jester.
I forget what
he
exactly he was saying. It was like jester behavior. But
Mm.
I would like exhibit A to what's Pete's name? Who dated Ariana Grande?
Pete Davidson.
The Pete Davidson effect, that a jester can pull above their looks, even their looks maxed.
Yeah.
A jester has extra pull. You ought to be Looksmaxxing and Jestermogging.
That's the winning combo. Also, I love this comment. It's obviously kind of right wing, but he truly doesn't care about politics. This right wing guy had him on, and he said he would vote for Newsom over Vance because Newsom is hotter. Perfect. See?
Okay.
Apolitical king. A centrist king.
Okay, this actually brings up I saw a video yesterday of Terence McKenna talking about, he's like, Aristotle labeled God the good, the true, the beautiful. Now the good, who's to say? The true, even harder to say. But beautiful, well, that's easy. Like how easy it is to just like ascertain beauty. So his argument was that we should be focused on aesthetics as our greatest hierarchical value or something. And I guess that's scary in some senses, because then it's like, well, if there are things that are beyond people's control that don't fit within like a narrow category of beauty for someone else, that they get dehumanized and so on. But there is something to be said about the cultivation and acquisition of beauty throughout one's life. And what is more Looksmaxxing than a radiant glow of your countenance illuminated with human love and compassion? Real Looksmaxxing starts in the heart.
I really like I think there's a world where like Looksmaxxing could be like a fine term where it's just like, it's like maximizing what God gave you, like making sure your teeth are healthy and in good condition, but just doing things to take care of yourself, but not through the lens of trying to like contort yourself to look like something you're not, but just to how to bring out whatever beauty like inner or outer is there, and you just like maximize, and then like leave it at that. It's like, if God made you a 10, amazing, love that. If God made you a 4, that's a 4, like in the social whatever, that's also fine. Like beauty is also energetic, and it never hurts to like step in to self-care and self-love. Like it's not, you shouldn't feel like if you're a certain natural low level of attractiveness that it's not worth doing those things. Like I think some people will feel like, oh, I shouldn't even bother because I'll never be a 10. But I think it's more of a mindset thing, and the way you animate yourself, and like you said, the love that's written on your face, like all of those things can make you beautiful and attractive. I'm rambling. He mentioned in the interview that he came into the Looksmaxxing community during COVID and was very isolated. And he's 20, so he would have got into that community when he was like 13, 14, right?
Yeah, which is like the Andrew Tate primary audience, which is sad and telling.
Yeah, I really think I forget that, like, even though, because I grew up on the internet, being in questionable places on the internet for a teenage girl to be, but like in terms of like the eating disorder rhetoric and stuff like that. But I still think I underestimate like how that was already like questionable, but it's still such a far cry from being fully immersed in the internet at all times in your crucial development. No voices that can even get close to counter it. Like it's so weird to imagine a human brain just being put through that experiment. And it makes sense that we would have guys like this come out of it.
I gotta send you, I was trying to find earlier a link so that I could send you so I don't forget, but I just listened to this great take about about social media and being a sort of analog to the fey realm, the fairy realm of old and of myth.
I saw that.
Oh, okay, great. And I thought that was a really good insight and a better metaphor than ones that we typically hear when talking about social media and the internet.
Yeah. And I love how
relating
it
to it
about...
in those mythological terms is really great. You love how it talked about what?
Sorry, the lag. Like how in fairy tales, the fairy tale realm isn't just like this utopia. It's like you don't want to trifle with it casually. And so the TikTok was talking about how you want to keep one foot in the real world, and you know, it just like, yeah, it described it perfectly. How it's like, yes, there is great power and magic and many curious threads to pull out there, but be wise.
I do often think about the phone specifically as a sort of like Philosopher's Stone, Lord of the Rings Palantir, Seer Stone kind of magical device. And when you think about it like that, it makes a lot more sense. It is sort of this like all-seeing eye portal thing, and those kinds of things in the myth are like usually really well protected because they have a seductive quality to them, and you can just get lost in that orb, as we all have. If you're watching, you're probably currently lost in the orb. Well,
probably lost in it
the
right
orb
now
welcomes you
this.
for another day in the orb, in the Fae
like, at
realm.
what point is content just for its own sake, you know?
Yeah. And it's all for its own sake, you know. Life is content, then you die.
Yeah.
And then the content keeps contenting in. Content is king. And we are but jesters in that content. And we gotta be Jestermogging. Lessons for all jestins out there.
Well, in case you're curious what type of woman this man goes for, here's another random video I found.
My stream really doesn't like you, I guess.
I can go. I don't want them to be like.
I was gonna
It's
say,
not so quiet.
Just, you know, go real quick, then send you on your way. I
That
mean,
could
that's
bring you
literally the only reason why you're here.
Yeah. Oh my god, I don't want you to get hate. I feel like they don't like me.
Okay, that wasn't really anything. It was basically just he kicked a girl out of his live stream, I guess, that he's dating. Is he in like a hype house type situation where...
Oh, he says to Andrew Callahan in that other clip about how Andrew asked him, would you go on a date outside of a live stream? And he's like, where would the return on investment be on that? Like, there's no logical reason to do that.
See, that's got to be autism. Or is there a thing that looks just like that that's not autism? Someone tell me. But like, what do you mean you wouldn't go on a date outside of a live stream?
Yeah. Because he feels like that's what gives him his total power. And so for him, it doesn't make, like, why would he do that when he's on the live stream? He's in control and he can walk up to girls and say, you're less than attractive, below average. And he can say something to someone else and have his, you know, whole band of followers there live approving everything that he does. Yeah, it's pretty wacky.
I saw a video of him talking about how Sydney Sweeney is like average or above average looking. Like she's not like this 10 that everyone treats her as. And I thought that was funny. And I guess it makes sense because to me, I'm like, I look at him and I'm like, well, you kind of seem like kind of a natural 10 by a lot of standards. And yet you're still driven to constantly be smashing your head in with a hammer. So like who's a true 10 to him? I would love to know.
Dolly Parton today.
I want to know, like, in the Looksmaxxing community, what is considered a 10? What does a 10 look like in...
That's the thing. There is no real 10 because it's all Heart of Darkness shit. So it's like you're never getting to the bottom of that. It's you'll have to always be striving and no one ever attains.
Okay. I think these are all for men, but I'm on this forum.looksmaxxing.com and it says Oh, wow. This is kind of sad. If you're lower than a 4 out of 10, if you're in the bottom 20% of the population, their label for that is subhuman. So that's awesome. But if you're lower than a 5 out of 10, but still more attractive than 30% of the population, which would be like between a 4 and a 5, you're a low tier normie. If you're a 5 to a 5.9, mid tier normie. More attractive than 50% of the population, less attractive than 50% of the rest. 6 to 6.9, slightly above average. More attractive than 70 to 80% of the population, less attractive than 20 to 30. That kind of sounded like where he was putting Sydney Sweeney from the video I watched, like a slightly above average. Nothing to write home about. If you're a 10, you're called a true Adam, inhumanly above average, more attractive than 99.5% of the population. So to be a true Adam, though, wait, 99.5, doesn't that just mean you have to be like in the top 0.5%? So what's that? Like 1 in 200 people are true Adams?
How did I know this scale was going to be based on fundamentalist mythological archetypes?
Of course. But don't you feel like that's quite, like, even though they're saying a true Adam is basically you're the top 0.5% of the population, I'm like, do you really think these guys would think that 1 in 200 people are a 10 based on the fact that they think Sydney Sweeney's like a 6? I doubt it. So I feel like the statistics are just like they're not tracking for me.
Yeah, we need to see some real data, I think. And the data is a little murky.
It's murky. Well, I think I'm kind of
because I don't think someone without a properly integrated shadow side or like anima or animus could ever truly be a 10, you know? So like I'm like, sorry, you can smash your face all you want with a hammer, but like at the end of the day, I'm not going to think you're hot because you don't exude what is actually beautiful or attractive to me personally.
There are specific measurements to kind of ascertain where you're at. So for men, shoulder width, the average male shoulder width according to this is 16 to 18 inches, but to be a Chad light, which is like the one below Chad or Adam light, which is one below like true Adam, obviously.
It goes
so a Chad
Adam,
light is like
Chad. Not even like Cain and Abel. It's like straight to Chad.
A Chad light is someone who's more attractive than like 85 to 90% of the population, according to this. Then for men, you're going to want to have 19 to 20 inch shoulders. So basically you want shoulders that are like a few inches wider than average. And this is interesting. It says for women to go up, they also should have shoulders like 3 to 5 inches wider than average, which is making me think I might be able to get into the Chad light category because I have much wider shoulders than I would say the average woman who's 5'5".
Wow.
To be an Adam, they don't even say like what the criteria is for Adam because I think they're like no one would ever reach that. So they just give you like the Chad Adam light is sort of like the best. So like skin quality, for example, Chad Adam light, top tier you can get virtually no visible blemishes, glowing or evenly toned skin. But a Chad light would be clear skin, minimal scarring or discoloration. So if you've got any kind of scarring or discoloration, that wouldn't be cool. I don't really understand. I don't really understand all the chin stuff. Oh, it does say the perfect height for. Oh, interesting. This is weird as well because I would imagine these guys to think that the perfect woman is like tiny, you know, like as sort of narrow and small as possible without being like, I guess like a child's height. But this says
also no, it's got to be buxom and voluptuous, right?
Yeah, but I guess this says that for a woman to be in the top 5% in the Adam Light Chad category, a woman should be taller than 5'10", which I guess I just didn't imagine these guys being into. So women who are 5'8" to 5'10", which is me, 5'9", would be in the Chad Light category, top 15%. It's really starting to become clear to me that I think I might be able to be Chad Light.
Wow, congrats. What's the view like from way up there at 5'10".
Well, I can see your medically recessed chin easily. If you're a 5'7" man, you don't even make it into high tier normie. That doesn't even start till 5'11". And apparently the
Well,
ideal
I've never
man
been a
is
5'7" man, so
the ideal man is above 6'3", which I mean, fair.
yeah, everybody beneath that is a different category altogether. Raymans.
And obviously the ideal nose you can have is a button nose.
Well, then I'm good. Wait, is that for both genders? All two of them?
Seems like it. Seems like both. Yeah.
Button is the best
what
for
did we
women.
learn?
See, that's where I'm like, gee. We learn. What do they say? Anything about your phrenology type? About skull shape? What's my? Do I have any good quality skull?
You are very symmetrical though, and
mounds?
it does talk about symmetry being a big deal. I'm like, show pictures, you cowards.
This is so silly. Obviously,
So silly. It really is just like a religion or like a game or just like literally any online community that a young person could get sucked into and start thinking is real if they've got that like autism in them. Because I'm just seeing like these pictures where people will just like label them like parts of their face and be like high tier normie for sure. And then like everyone's just like commenting. It's just like a thing to weigh in on as a community. It's just like a made up system that for whatever reason is fun for them to participate in.
I mean, I get it. My current Insta bio is rascal phenotype, suggesting that there are certain genetic qualities associated with being a rascal, and could be true. Could be true. But yeah, this is all so silly. It's like
silly.
Saying that attractiveness is not just like a linear thing. It's truly not a bit that we say to like make people feel better about themselves. It just like doesn't exist. This whole thing that they're talking about is made up to make people feel insecure, so that people like this who do not give a shit can make money off of that. I swear to God, that's the whole fucking economy, is just all that. And what really exists like in the real world with real human beings really loving each other is people being attracted to actual people, and it's not because they fit on like, it's like, oh, you have a button shaped nose that is better than like sometimes like a long hook nose is like the hottest thing in the world because of the person that it's on, and it's just them in their uniqueness, in their energy, like actually loving themselves and carrying themselves with confidence, and not with connery and like trying to trick people into thinking I'm beautiful.
Tiptoeing everywhere.
Yeah, I'm like, this is made up. This is so fake.
So
like,
silly.
I'm attracted to so many different types, genuinely, so many different types of people, and it's not, and none of them are on this like linear thing, because that linear thing is not attractive to me.
Right. It's like, yeah, obviously a man over 6'3", but
yeah, we're never gonna turn down a man over 6'3" either.
I'm never gonna, however toxic, gonna turn down a man over 6'3". But I mean, yeah, it really is like we've all seen people who are drop dead gorgeous, but like the way they like animate themselves, especially like I feel like it's more common where you'll see like a girl who's so gorgeous. You know, if you took a photo of her, you'd be like, that's a 10. But she's so obsessed with her appearance and has like such a nervous disposition around it that like her energy is constantly like protecting the 2D image at the expense of like the 3D experience, whatever you want to call it. And so, yeah, like, and also conversely, we've all met people who technically, if you saw a photo of them, you wouldn't think much of it. But the way that they like animate themselves is so attractive, and like their confidence and their, you know, personality. It really is just such a mixed bag.
Yeah.
And you want to play different like storylines out at different times as well, and like different people can kind of bring out different parts of you, and I don't know, it's like fun to play with all of that and the roles of it all erotically, and it would just be so boring to just have the same like Looksmaxxed virgin time and time again, but just like different flavor, same thing.
And I think that's what he'll probably find and always be looking for that something else. And maybe he'll just keep pushing that down and being more and more aggressive about it externally. Who knows?
Well,
or maybe he'll have a change of heart and because so
and
much of
as
this
I've-
is go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, as I've always said, like romantic lifelong partnership is not for everyone, and it doesn't seem like it's maybe in his wheelhouse. But what were you saying?
Well, on a very similar note, how much of this is like because this whole schema is like the ultimate masculine ideal, as if that was some common thing we all shared, and or there was like this automatic hierarchy that actually exists subjectively, is that it's obviously misogynistic, like he's always putting women down, and yet like the makeup, the heels, the Looksmaxxing is like a feminine art, or has traditionally in our culture existed on the side of the feminine. So it's this way of like owning without like acknowledging or integrating the feminine while like suppressing the feminine. And I think that's part of what's so terrifying about it.
Yeah, and I really think it's just like the brain just wants like a system to latch onto that makes the world make sense. And again, it just is like so ironic that it's coming from a person who's like naturally so good looking. But isn't that always the way? Like with women as well, like it's often the ones that are the most beautiful that are the most obsessed with tweaking their looks, when it's like, man, I feel like I'd enjoy every second of my life looking like that, you know, doing barely anything, but like it doesn't really matter what you look like. So like in the sense of it doesn't make you neurologically healthy or less neurotic or, you know.
Right. Yeah, hotness doesn't, or like, you know, just your natural appearance doesn't automatically mean anything. Like it doesn't mean like a really hot person isn't necessarily psychologically well or necessarily intelligent or necessarily dumb. I used to have like in Mormonism, I had this kind of prejudice against like models. It's like,
You
just
did.
the dumb models who don't. And then I started hanging out with models at work because I was working in marketing, and so I was like, you do a video, and it's like they were by far the most interesting people that I had to talk to. I like loved doing studio shoots because it was like these are people who are fun, who are living like a different kind of lifestyle on their own terms, who are interested in a lot of different things, who are usually creative, who are comfortable in their bodies, and like very affirming to other people as well. And I was just like, oh, I have been prejudiced out of envy.
Thank you for our first super chat, Bender Rodriguez 9. Chat maxing to mog the normies.
Wow.
That's Adam-like behavior right there. That kind of chat maxing.
Thank you for fun maxing the channel.
Fund maxing
We're
yourself on the
absolutely
shelf
gagged.
is so important right now, you guys. Oh, also, we just before this filmed episode 2 of our VeggieTales Smart series, which is on our Patreon, and it's so fun, and I really want more of you guys to join us because it's so funny. The first episode you can go watch right after this, and then the second one will probably be up tomorrow.
A wild ride.
Yes.
And dare I say, genuinely good, scary?
Genuinely good. Tana's maybe too into it? Question mark. We will see. Well, I think maybe my time stream maxing has come to the end for the day now that we're getting close to an hour, but so
You've
glad we
stream
can
maxed-
unpack this together. I'm stream maxed out.
Stream max too close to the sun.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, what did we learn?
I think what we learned is that being hot really means nothing at the end of the day. It's all about combo maxing. It's what you combine being hot with. If you are hot, that's going to give you certain advantages and maybe certain disadvantages depending on your gender. But, you know, use it, enjoy it. But don't sacrifice other stuff for it because, oh my God, then said, just want to say VeggieTales Smart had low draw for me, but I listened and now I need more. Totally understand that with a new series. But if you'll give us a chance, Max, it is fun. Any final thoughts from you, Tanner?
No, I think I'm thought maxed. Thanks everyone for joining us. I take back what I said about there not being true.
Oh,
There not being any true 10s because everyone in this chat is a 10.
We forgot to talk about the fact that he was fucking arrested. The title of
Yeah,
the
he was
stream.
arrested on
He was
battery
arrested.
charges. Apparently, he was encouraging his girlfriend to fight.
I don't get that though, because like, isn't it on the person who actually does the violence? Like, can someone encouraging you to do violence? I didn't realize you could get arrested for that in quite that way.
I think it'll come out in court, and then we'll get all the full details. If you're like causing a ruckus, I think they could just we're taking everybody in.
Well, hopefully he's lawyer maxing.
Hopefully, but actually, I think all he has to do is Looksmaxx, and if he's up there on the stand Looksmaxxing, they'll be like,
no good jury would convict that man.
Yeah. If the looks don't quit, you must acquit. If the looks, yeah.
It is really funny that he said he'd vote for Gavin Newsom because he's more attractive than JD Vance. I love that.
Oh, I can't think about Gavin Newsom.
Say what you like about Gavin Newsom, but he's Looksmaxxed.
Yeah.
JD Vance, not so much.
No, he's trying to he's Looksmaxxing more than he ever has. But yeah, Gavin is fully mogging. It's mog maxing.
That's exactly the kind of 6'3" man that could unfortunately pull me in when it's maybe not quite right that he should.
Yeah, cut to the next election. You telling me I have to vote for him to save democracy.
Well, we love you all. As I said, come to our Patreon because the VeggieTales Smart is really good. And it's just funner to get in early so that we're all reading at the same time. And episode 2 will be up tomorrow. So
get in on the ground floor. We're smut maxing.
Get in on the ground floor. Yeah. Yes. And goodbye. That's the end.
Bye, maxing.
Hate.